The United States just admitted how they plan to stack more Bitcoin, and it's not by buying it.
We're not going to be buying that, but we are going to use confiscated assets.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent went on live TV and basically said, we are going to build up our strategic reserve through confiscation. Oh, yeah. Now, this isn't conspiracy theory. There's a clip.
Confiscated assets.
See, I told you there's a clip. So, no, this is not conspiracy theory. This is history repeating itself, like I'm repeating myself right now. In 1933, FDR took the gold. And in 1971, Nixon took the gold standard. And if you think they won't come for your Bitcoin, then you're already in their trap. I'm Oshins. This is Beyond Bitcoin. Let's go punch a box of Cracker Jacks, shall we? When Trump got back into office, a lot of Bitcoiners thought that this was our big break. Why are you talking like that? I don't know. Maybe the government would actually buy Bitcoin, treat it like the strategic oil reserves, and it would strengthen the U.S. balance sheet. Sponsored by Disney. You remember the digital Fort Knox narrative? Treasury scooping up sats and signaling to the world that Bitcoin is actually the American asset that we all want and deserve. Yeah, sure. Instead, here's the reality. Scott Bessent says they're not buying a single sat.
We've got the large gold holding. I doubt we're going to revalue it, but we are going to keep it there, again, as a store of value for the American people. We've also started to get into the 21st century, a Bitcoin strategic reserve. We're not going to be buying that, but we are going to use confiscated assets and continue to build that up. We're going to stop selling that. I believe that Bitcoin reserve at today's prices is somewhere between 15 and 20 billion.
The strategic Bitcoin reserve will grow only through seized coins.
They're up to something over there.
Now, these coins will be taken from exchange busts, criminal cases, and maybe even one day, regular citizens. Now, they claim to have $15 to $20 billion worth of Bitcoin already, but didn't they say they had way more than that? 15 to 20 billion. Now, 20 billion divided by the current price, which is at $117,000 per Bitcoin. What is that? Let's do a little math. 171,000 roughly Bitcoin. That's what they currently have. Maybe. Now, before you think, they'd never do that. They're the government. They're the pillar of truth, the shining light in all of our lives. Well, let me tell you, they've done it before. 1933. Executive Order 6102. FDR made it illegal for most Americans to own gold.
Executive Order 6102 was a presidential executive order that required Americans to surrender much of their gold to the U.S. government. President Franklin D. Roosevelt passed the order in 1933 as a reaction to the crippling effect of the Great Depression on the U.S. economy. After years of economic turmoil, the American people desperately required relief from the financial disparity induced by the Depression. The reason behind the order was to remove constraints on the Federal Reserve in order to print more money during the Depression. The order was issued within a month of FDR's inauguration, and all Americans were required to forfeit their gold to the government.
People were forced to sell to the government at a fixed price. Now, how do they do that? How on earth would they convince everyone to give up their gold and make them sell it? Well, where is most of the gold in 1933? If you're smart enough, you bury it in your backyard, but most of the gold in 1933 is located in the banks, and the banks are subject to seizure because they are regulated by the government. Now, this sounds like a very, very parallel story to what's currently going on. If most of the Bitcoin out there is currently on exchanges, well...
But we are going to use confiscated assets.
That just tells you, get your freaking Bitcoin off exchanges and put it into cold storage. 1971, the Nixon shock. Overnight, Nixon killed the dollar's convertibility to gold.
Accordingly, I have directed the Secretary of the Treasury to take the action necessary to defend the dollar against the speculators. I have directed Secretary Connally to suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar in the gold or other reserve assets, except in amounts and conditions determined to be in the interest of monetary stability and in the best interest of the United States.
Well, temporarily. The dollar went fully fiat, decoupling from any hard asset. Now, both of these moves were justified as emergency measures. Both of those moves were about control. And every time people who trusted the system woke up to holding an empty bag that was cut open by the government at the bottom. Right overnight. Didn't even think about it. We are going to seize all of your gold. Sorry. Because it's safer for you. Before we go any deeper, if you're serious about staying ahead of moves like this, you'll need tools to keep you plugged into the signal and not the noise. And that's why we've partnered with sat123.com. Sat123.com offers a variety of survival gear in times of crisis. They come with Faraday bags, solar panels, satellite phones, you name it, they got it. Keep your sovereignty when everyone else has lost theirs. Go to sat123.com and use the promo code SIMPLY for 15% off of your purchase. Now, that's pretty good. So stay sharp and stay ahead and go to sat123.com. Now, Besson's words weren't an accident. Their policy preview, buying Bitcoin in the open market pushes the price up, but confiscation doesn't. And governments will always choose the option that strengthens their hand without costing them a dime. Think about it. When your coins sit on an exchange, they're not your coins, are they? Not your keys, not your coins. They're in someone else's custody, in some other jurisdiction, waiting for someone else's compliance officer to turn them over. That's not Bitcoin ownership. That's Bitcoin IOUs or paper Bitcoin. Well, in this case, actually, paper Bitcoin might be safer than Bitcoin IOUs on an exchange because of the amount of problems that come with keeping your coins on an exchange. Hacks, regulation, theft, seizure. All of these third-party risks come with keeping your coins on exchanges.
I really had to study and learn about Bitcoin and the nuances within the technology so that I can learn how to take self-custody, which is the beauty. It's the technological revolution that you don't have to have a third-party issuer and you don't have to have a third party that you trust in order to custody it. And so Satoshi sort of gave us this gift, and yet people are trusting these companies because they're chasing yield, because really, our money has been
mostly see the
corrupted
crypto
by
market as
financialization.
peer-to-peer, though, without a bank transaction.
Right. It's supposed to take the middleman out,
Okay.
but when you introduce those layers of trust, you introduce security risks. And that's exactly what is happening. But again, people are chasing yield because the financialization of our world over the last few decades has really corrupted money.
If history tells us anything, you don't wait for confiscation to be a headline. You go bury that stuff in the backyard. You cut them off at the knees before they can even make a move. And that means buying Bitcoin and taking it off of exchanges or earning it. Cold storage, multi-sig, custody that you control. But for people who want to go further and earn Bitcoin without ever touching an exchange, do I have a solution for you? Sovereign Bitcoin starts at the source. Sazmining.com makes earning Bitcoin through mining simple. Whether you want to run your own rig at home or tap into managed facilities, no middleman holding your coins, no exchange account to freeze, just freshly mined Bitcoin straight to your wallet. Go to Sazmining.com and book a call with one of their expert team members and start mining today. And earn that stuff. So here's the bottom line. The government just told us how they plan on growing their Bitcoin strategic reserves by taking it, not buying it. As history shows, they really mean it. Don't make it easy for them. Self-custody is the only way. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this content and you want to see more, make sure you hit that like button below, or you can subscribe to the Simply Bitcoin channel for more content like this. We're coming out with it every single day of the week. Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell for more updates whenever we're coming out with videos. Anyway, I'm Oshins. This is Beyond Bitcoin. Until next time.